Hey everybody, this is May. We are together joined as Asian Hmong Alliance, aka AHA. My name is Zishan. I work at the Walser corporate and I do marketing analyst and I identify as a Muslim.
My name is Ali. I work at Recon here and I'm a PDR technician and I identify as Hmong.
My name is Othello. I work at the Reconditioning Center as one of the photographers and I identify as Hmong.
I'm Reggie. I am a product specialist at Walser Toyota and I identify as Hmong. As someone who's very new to not only AHA but Walser and the Twin Cities area, for me, not growing up around the Hmong culture and getting to learn about it, it's been a really good experience getting to learn more about my history, but all the different Asian cultures and ethnicities and identities that are around here.
That's awesome. Yeah, for me as like a Muslim myself, like I joined the group like wanting to just like spread more awareness about just Muslim people, Muslim culture, just because like a lot of our clientele is a lot of around Muslim people. So, it's good to know who you guys are working with and, it's just good to know overall experiences. Like right now, like I'm learning so much about Hmong. We guys had some Hmong events and we had the Hmong festival that we went to too.
I think as we grow and we get the word out about the AHA group and I think attending more events and supporting the culture and that's not just the Asian culture but every culture really, and everyone just gather and be one.
I think as time goes on and more people find out about AHA, especially since we're such a large company, a lot of people don't know about it, or they might have heard about it at the orientation, but as time goes on throughout our individual careers, time just gets away from us. So I feel that as time goes on, more people hear about us through the Walser newsletter, through just word of mouth, and as we expand and bring more diversity into our company, I think it'll all be organic. It'll just kind of grow on its own. So can anyone share an experience where they felt that your cultural identity was either misunderstood or misrepresented?
As a Muslim, a lot of people had eyes on me, especially like as a kid. You think like, I don't know, especially like in the neighborhood I grew up in, there's a lot of white elderly people, so they had a lot of misconceptions about our family and just like how we did business and stuff like that. So sometimes we would have like prayers or other loud music going on sometimes, and you get stares, you get like, hey, turn that off, like it's like weird kind of things, but you work with it, is what it is. The best thing you can do is just educate people.
So for me, growing up in an area that didn't have any Hmong culture, a lot of people, maybe through ignorance or they just plain didn't know, would just kind of lump Asians together in one group. I would get called Chinese a lot, or I would get called Japanese. And when I was younger, I'd get really defensive. I'm like, I'm not Chinese, I'm not Japanese. And now that I'm older, I realize, maybe they didn't mean any harm by it, but it's all about exposure. It's all about communicating with one another and engaging with one another. And then when I would sit down and kind of explain to people, who the Hmong people are, what our history is, how they came to the U.S., my particular family history, you could really kind of see the light turn on in their eyes, and they'd say, "Oh, okay, so it really is different. It's not just this ethnicity, just this country. There's a rich history behind it, and it really kind of it brings some humanity to it."
I remember like every time when I speak to people, just because they see like I'm brown, they'd be like, "Oh, you're from India, so you're Indian, like, or Hindu." I'm like, "No, I'm Muslim. Just because like I'm brown doesn't mean I have to be this one major popular religion. It could be, maybe there's a lot of brown people that are Christians. There's a lot of brown people that are like other religions too. So I always like to like make sure like, hey, just because I have this color doesn't mean I'm in that one sector."
I can recall probably when I was in middle school, moved into Indiana with my grandparents, and the main Asians there was Chinese and Japanese. So, went to school and I was either Chinese or Japanese, and being Asian there, you're pretty much considered you didn't know English. So I didn't even had a chance of really picking my classes. So they automatically threw me into ESL class, where I just sat there for like a week, and then the teacher finally like, hey, what is this called? I'm like, oh yeah, that's a pencil. And she was very surprised to the point where she actually went to talk to the principal, and they put me through a ton of tests just to put me in regular classes. So explaining that I was Hmong over there was very hard.
I know exactly how it feels.
I feel that.
I had that conversation more times than I can count. Especially depending on where in the country you live at. And as time goes on, we're very fortunate to have a very diverse mix of people from Asian cultures here in the States. But yeah, I remember, especially in the 90s, it was, unless you happened to know Hmong people, you had no idea who they were.
No, as soon as you said that, it just reminds me of that movie, that show, King of the Hill. Are you Chinese or Japanese? These are on Laotian.
Hey, like ocean. By the ocean?
So what are some unique aspects of your cultural background that you celebrate? How do you celebrate?
So like one thing is for like us Muslim is like Ramadan. We just had Ramadan last month, and we just celebrated Eid last month too. It was a great time basically. A lot of us came together, had fun, and just celebrating that Ramadan's done. We had done our 30 days of fasting, so that's probably one of the things that's probably unique to our culture.
I would say the Hmong New Year has always been the biggest for me. It's because it's like a gathering of a lot of Hmong people. And if you actually look at the clothing, they are different designs. Because even though we're Hmong, we have different tribes, different clans.
Okay.
So the way we speak may be different to another Hmong person. And it's just interesting to see the design of the clothing and the clan they represent.
For me, growing up, originally I'm from Fresno, which is the other like great big Hmong population here in the States, other than Minnesota. I just remember it was like a huge festival and had so much fun doing it. And then as I've gotten older, I have aunts and uncles who will go to the one here, and then they'll fly to the one in Fresno, which they do keep them on separate dates, so people can go to both.
I have a question. What's something that you guys growing up didn't really appreciate, but now you guys appreciate about your culture?
When I was young, I just there's a lot of rules and regulations, I guess you could say, that I just found annoying or cumbersome. But now as I've grown, just more connected with my religion, I appreciate a lot more.
So I would say something that I didn't appreciate when I was younger that I definitely do now is in the Hmong culture, our food. So when I was younger, I was just like, why do we boil chicken? Why do we, do vegetables like this? Why is everything so insanely spicy? That one I still ask to this day. But
yeah, I love your papaya salads. I love that.
I think as different foods from Asian cultures have become popular in Western culture. I mean, pho was something that nobody ever heard of 10 years ago. And then out of nowhere, it just got cool. Now everybody wants to eat pho. Or once people try papaya salad,
Oh, yes.
unless they really don't like, the flavors that are in it, people love papaya salad. People love stuffed chicken wing, sticky rice. I remember growing up eating sticky rice and then trying to tell my friends at school it's sticky rice. So they're just like, you mean rice that's like squished together and you eat that? And I'm like, yeah, but it's it's purple and it's cool, and for me it was a novelty. But now that I'm older, I really do appreciate like the different traditions and cultures that went into Hmong food. I mean, because the Hmong are people who never really got to have a land for very long, they've taken traditions from the Chinese cultures and Vietnamese and Thai and other areas as well. And so now that I'm older, I'm just like, no, Hmong food's really cool. There's a lot more to it than people ever thought about or give it credit for.
Going off what you said, say you met a stranger or like someone's asking about like Hmong food, right? What's your go-to Hmong food that you'd be like, you gotta try this if you don't try anything else?
I would have to say the dish called lob.
Lob.
So the version I like to eat is the beef one, but basically it's beef, and you you cook the beef in different spices and toasted rice powder.
Wow.
And if you've never had that, it's a very distinct smell and flavor, but it goes really well with rice, and then there's different sides of like cucumber or lettuce, depending on where you buy it from or who makes it. And then what's really cool, I think, about especially Southeast Asian cuisine, because it's more mainstream, they ask you what spice level.
Yes.
And for me, because I'm still getting used to it, I'll definitely be like a 1 or a 2.
How about you guys? Do you guys like spiciness or no?
We kind of grew up with it, but over time it takes a toll.
Takes a toll on you?
Yeah, so it's like, oh man, I can't eat spicy foods no more
I feel
as
that.
I used to. So, but
Yeah. There's a funny saying that some people like to say when it comes to making papaya salad, on like the spiciness level. Like, it's not a 1 to 5. It's like, how many peppers spice are you? Like,
That's it.
are you 2 peppers? Are you 5 peppers?
Honestly, like as I say, as an Islamic culture, there's not like Islamic food, I guess you could say, but in a sense, Indian food, I would totally want to like recommend. My favorite is probably goat biryani. I'm a huge biryani lover.
I would say another food that's really good for people who are new to Hmong food to try, and for me it's kind of like a little bit of my childhood, so I look at it with nostalgia. It's called na vong.
Okay.
So basically it is a dessert type of drink, but you can eat it out of a bowl. Or it is, you can do different shapes, but it's made with tapioca flour.
Tapioca flour.
And you like, sometimes they're like in the shape of like little strands, sometimes they're like little dots. And you mix it with coconut milk and like a cane sugar syrup. And so you can make it as sweet or not sweet as you want. It's really another one of those things where when you go buy it, they ask you how you want it.
So would it be considered like a dessert in a
it's
sense?
definitely
Okay,
dessert.
gotcha.
And whoever makes it, you can make it all sorts of colors. So I've had ones with like blue and green and pink.
All right.
Growing up, I only ever remember green. Like
Green.
It's kind of like a bright green. But as time goes on, they've gotten more creative.
all right, guys, it was really good chatting with you guys.
Yeah, thank you everybody for your time, for your
Sure.
input. It was great to hear from everybody. So make sure that you check your emails. Part 2 will be coming up sometime later this month. And thanks for sitting with us.
Awesome. Great to have you guys.